Welcome back to our Computer Basics series. In our previous lesson, we explored the CPU, often referred to as the brain of the computer. Today, on day 9, we're diving into two essential types of memory that every computer uses: RAM and ROM. Understanding these will help you grasp how computers store and access information, making your digital experience smoother and more efficient. Let's get started and unravel the mysteries behind RAM and ROM and see why they're so important for your computer's performance. Before we jump into RAM and ROM, let's quickly talk about what memory means in the context of computers. Memory is where your computer stores data, instructions, and information needed to perform tasks. Just like our brains remember things temporarily or permanently, computers also have different types of memory for different purposes. Today we'll focus on two main types: RAM, which is temporary, and ROM, which is permanent. Understanding this distinction is key to knowing how your computer works. Start with RAM, which stands for random access memory. RAM is a type of temporary memory that your computer uses to store data while it's running. Think of it as your computer's short-term memory. Whenever you open a program or file, the data is loaded into RAM so the CPU can quickly access it. This allows your computer to work faster and handle multiple tasks at once. However, RAM only holds data while the computer is on. Once you turn off your computer, everything in RAM is erased. An important characteristic of RAM is that it's volatile memory. This means that all the data stored in RAM disappears when the computer is turned off. It's like writing on a whiteboard. Once you erase it, the information is gone. This is why RAM is perfect for tasks that only need to be remembered while the computer is on, like running programs or editing documents. The moment you shut down, RAM clears out, making room for new tasks the next time you start your computer. You open a web browser, play a game, or run any application, your computer loads the necessary data into RAM. This allows the CPU to access information much faster than if it had to retrieve it from the hard drive every time. The more RAM your computer has, the more programs it can run smoothly at the same time. That's why upgrading RAM often makes computers feel faster and more responsive, especially when multitasking. Imagine you're working on a document, listening to music, and browsing the internet all at once. RAM is what makes this possible. It temporarily holds the data for each task so you can switch between them quickly. If your computer runs out of RAM, it may slow down or even freeze because it can't keep all the necessary information handy. That's why having enough RAM is important for a smooth computing experience. Now let's talk about ROM, which stands for read-only memory. ROM is a type of permanent memory in your computer. Unlike RAM, the data stored in ROM stays there even when the computer is turned off. ROM contains important instructions that your computer needs to start up and function properly. Think of it as your computer's instruction manual, always available when needed. ROM is known as non-volatile memory. This means that the information stored in ROM remains even when the computer is powered down. It's like writing in a notebook. The notes stay there until you decide to erase them. ROM is essential for storing the instructions that tell your computer how to boot up and perform basic operations. Without ROM, your computer wouldn't know how to start. When you press the power button on your computer, the CPU looks to the ROM for instructions on how to start up. These instructions are written into ROM during manufacturing and can't be changed easily. ROM ensures that your computer always has the basic information it needs to turn on and get ready for use, no matter how many times you restart or shut down. Every time you start your computer, ROM plays a crucial role behind the scenes. It holds the instructions that help your computer check its hardware and load the operating system. Even if you unplug your computer or lose power, the information in ROM stays safe and ready for the next startup. This reliability makes ROM a vital part of every computer system. Now that we've covered both RAM and ROM, let's compare them side by side. RAM is temporary volatile memory used for running programs and storing data while the computer is on. ROM, on the other hand, is permanent non-volatile memory that stores essential instructions for starting the computer. These differences make each type of memory uniquely important for your computer's operation. To recap, RAM acts as your computer's workspace. It temporarily holds the data and instructions needed for active tasks. When you close a program or shut down your computer, the information in RAM disappears. This makes RAM ideal for tasks that only need to be remembered while you're working on them. ROM, in contrast, serves as your computer's long-term memory for essential instructions. It keeps the information needed to start and operate your computer safe, even when the power is off. This permanence ensures that your computer can always boot up and function correctly, no matter what. The term volatile means that RAM loses all its data when the power is turned off. This is why you need to save your work before shutting down your computer. If you forget, anything stored only in RAM will be lost. Volatility makes RAM fast and efficient for temporary tasks but not suitable for long-term storage. Non-volatile means that ROM retains its data even when the computer is powered off. This makes ROM perfect for storing instructions that must always be available, like those needed to start the computer. Non-volatility is what gives ROM its reliability and importance in every computer system. RAM is crucial for your computer's speed and performance. The more RAM you have, the more programs you can run at the same time without slowing down. If you notice your computer lagging when you open many applications, it might be because you're running low on RAM. Upgrading RAM is one of the easiest ways to boost your computer's performance. ROM is essential for your computer's reliability. Without ROM, your computer wouldn't know how to start up or load the operating system. ROM ensures that your computer always has the instructions it needs, no matter how many times you turn it off and on. This makes ROM a foundation for every computer's operation. Think of RAM like your desk at work. You keep all the papers and tools you're currently using on your desk for easy access. When you're done, you clear the desk for the next day. RAM works the same way, holding only the information you need right now and clearing it when you're finished. ROM is like a reference book in your office. It contains important information you need to look up from time to time, and it's always there even if you leave the office and come back later. ROM keeps the instructions your computer needs always ready and unchanged. Whenever you launch a program such as a word processor or a game, your computer loads the necessary data into RAM. This allows the program to run smoothly and respond quickly to your actions. Without enough RAM, programs may run slowly or crash, making it hard to get your work done. ROM stores the instructions that your computer needs to start up. These instructions are called firmware or BIOS. When you turn on your computer, the CPU reads these instructions from ROM to check the hardware and load the operating system. This process happens every time you power up your computer. It's important to remember that any unsaved work stored in RAM will be lost if you shut down your computer. That's why saving your documents and files regularly is so important. RAM is designed for speed, not for keeping data safe after power is off. Unlike RAM, ROM keeps its data safe even when the computer is turned off. This makes ROM perfect for storing information that must never be lost, like the instructions for starting your computer. ROM's data is written once and stays there for the life of the device. RAM is much faster than other types of storage like hard drives or SSDs. This speed allows your computer to quickly access and process information, making everything from opening files to switching between programs feel instant. That's why RAM is so important for a fast and responsive computer. ROM is designed to be secure and reliable. Because the data in ROM can't be easily changed, it's protected from accidental deletion or corruption. This makes ROM a safe place for storing the most important instructions your computer needs to operate. If you want your computer to run faster or handle more tasks at once, upgrading your RAM is often the best solution. More RAM means your computer can keep more data handy for active programs, reducing slowdowns and improving your overall experience. Unlike RAM, ROM is not designed to be upgraded or changed by users. The instructions stored in ROM are written during manufacturing and stay the same throughout the life of the device. This ensures that your computer always has the right information to start up. RAM is perfect for tasks that only need to be remembered while your computer is on. Whether you're editing a photo, playing a game, or browsing the web, RAM keeps all the necessary data ready for quick access. Once you're done, RAM clears out and gets ready for the next task. ROM is used to store instructions that must never be lost, such as the code needed to start your computer. These instructions are essential for the computer's basic functions and remain unchanged for the device's lifetime. When you play a video game, RAM stores the game's graphics, sounds, and progress while you're playing. This allows the game to run smoothly and respond instantly to your actions. If your computer doesn't have enough RAM, games may lag or crash. ROM isn't just in computers, it's also found in devices like smartphones, printers, and even washing machines. In all these devices, ROM stores the instructions needed to start up and operate correctly, ensuring reliable performance every time. The more RAM your computer has, the better it can handle multiple programs at once. If you like to keep many tabs open or run several applications, having more RAM will keep everything running smoothly without slowdowns. ROM provides consistency for your computer. Since the instructions in ROM never change, your computer can always rely on them to start up and operate correctly, no matter how many times you use it. Every time you restart your computer, RAM is cleared out and starts fresh. This helps your computer run efficiently and prevents old data from causing problems. It's like starting each day with a clean desk, ready for new work. No matter how many times you turn your computer off and on, ROM is always ready with the instructions needed to start up. This reliability is what makes ROM such an important part of every computer and electronic device. Remember, RAM is not meant for storing files or data long-term. If you want to keep your work safe, you need to save it to your hard drive or another storage device. RAM is only for temporary active tasks. ROM protects the most critical data your computer needs. Because it can't be easily changed or erased, ROM ensures that your computer always has the instructions it needs to function, even after years of use. When you edit a photo or video, RAM stores all the changes and data while you're working. This allows you to make edits quickly and see results instantly. Once you save your work and close the program, RAM clears out the temporary data. Even household appliances like microwaves and washing machines use ROM to store the instructions they need to operate. This ensures that every time you use them, they work exactly as intended, with no risk of losing their programming. RAM is a key factor in how fast your computer feels. More RAM means your computer can handle more data at once, making everything from browsing the web to editing videos faster and smoother. It's one of the best upgrades for improving speed. ROM helps keep your devices stable and reliable. By storing unchangeable instructions, ROM ensures that your computer and other electronics always start up and operate as expected, providing a consistent user experience. All the active processes and programs running on your computer rely on RAM. From your operating system to your web browser, everything uses RAM to keep things running smoothly and efficiently while you work. ROM is responsible for storing the essential functions that make your computer work. Without ROM, your computer wouldn't be able to start up, check its hardware, or load the operating system. It's the backbone of your device's basic operations. To sum up, RAM and ROM are two crucial types of memory in every computer. RAM is temporary and helps your computer run programs and tasks quickly, while ROM is permanent and stores the instructions needed to start and operate your device. Both are essential for a smooth and reliable computing experience. In our next lesson, we'll explore computer memory in more detail and learn about its different types. Understanding RAM and ROM is just the beginning. There's so much more to discover about how computers store and use information. Stay tuned for Day 10, where we'll continue our journey into the world of computer memory.